following is a presentation of TNT Sports.
Last night, as the playoffs began, the Spurs were elated. The Blazers deflated. Their home court was raided by San Antonio. Sean Elliott and company scored the game's last 8 points to win by 1. So much for the Portland home court edge. In Houston, Ron Harper went down. Hakeem went to town, and the Rockets beat Brown and the Clips. Harper's run-in with the basket support left his playoff future uncertain. Olajuwon was a force. 9 blocks, 28 points. Back east, a big night for D.C., but the Cavs were home free. Balance, the key in a Cleveland win. 9 Cavaliers scored in double figures. Cleveland led by as many as 26 and cruised home by 16. And in Boston, Reggie felt dizzy. The bench got busy. The hero, who is he? The X-Man. A feigning spell put Reggie Lewis on the parquet, but off the Pines, it was Xavier McDaniel scoring 21. D. Brown had 16, and this bit of magic.
What a tremendous play! That might be one of the most sensational plays all season long.
Tonight, we play 2 on TNT. The champs begin defense of their back-to-back crowns as 2 of the game's most prolific scorers hook up, Michael Jordan and the Hawks' Dominique Wilkins. They specialize in the spectacular. And later it's on to Phoenix, where Charles Barkley is trying to take the Suns to the next level. Their quest for the NBA crown begins with a best-of-5 against the Lakers. Will they be a worthy first-round foe? No time to choke, folks. The playoffs continue. And a good evening, everybody. Welcome to another night of NBA playoff action on TNT. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. We will chat with our studio analyst, Don Nelson, here in just a second. First, let's update a couple of stories from last night. Reggie Lewis, who fainted on the court in the first quarter last night, was examined by 2 specialists in Boston today. Tests were inconclusive, so more will be done tonight, and the Celtics will announce his status for Game 2 tomorrow morning. Now, the Clippers' Ron Harper, his knee injury is not as serious as was thought last night. An MRI today revealed a sprained medial collateral ligament in his right knee. He is questionable for Game 2 of the Clippers' Rockets series tomorrow night. Tonight on TNT, more first-round action. Michael and Dominique. Don, what more do I need to say?
Nothing, really. I really like this series. I think everyone who plays the Bulls is going to push them. And I think Atlanta will push them. I don't think they'll beat them, but I think they'll push them.
Will Indiana push New York at all?
No, the Knicks are talking title, and I just think they're too strong.
The Suns are also talking title. They got the Lakers. Is that a matchup at all?
I'd like to give somebody some hope, but there'll be no hope.
Well, you've given Phoenix some hope with that one. How about Seattle and Utah? That looks like a pretty good series.
That's the most interesting one out there. I really like Seattle, and I think that they're going to play their best basketball of the season.
All right, straight ahead, folks. By the way, we'll be back at halftime. It's Game 1 of our Friday night doubleheader. Chicago Stadium, the site. The first challenge for Michael Jordan and the champs, Dominique Wilkins and the Hawks. It's next on TNT.
The 1993 NBA playoffs on TNT is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for a taste, smoothness, and drinkability you'll find in no other beer. Proud to be your Bud. By Jeep and Eagle, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. And by AT&T. We want you back.
Along with Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal from Chicago, Illinois, where the world champion Chicago Bulls are inside the Madhouse on Madison Street, set to defend their world championship and to, in fact, go for a 3-peat against the Atlanta Hawks. The Bulls' 2nd seed in the East, Hawks' 7th seed. I don't remember any time in the NBA where a team that won 57 games, Central Division champions, 2-time defending world champions, have heard more gloom and doom about their possibilities of repeating. If you read Chicago papers, and for that matter national papers, you wonder if the Bulls could even get past the first round, yet they're defending world champions. So Hubie Brown, I ask you, as the Bulls come in here, can they three-peat? What's wrong with them, or is anything wrong with them?
I just think anytime that you have Michael Jordan, you won 57 games, you are the premier road team in the Eastern Conference, why not? I think during the course of the year they had to overcome, some very major problems, and it started with the health. And you can see right here, Cartwright needs to play 30 minutes in the big games. Paxson relegated to the bench, surgery. All right, now, Pippen, the ankle, questionable. Now, the bench production, highly underrated or overrated, however you want to say it. It's down 12 points from a year ago, but B.J. Armstrong's in the starting lineup. Don't worry about that. But let's look down below at their difference in points. 5 points a game because the shooting is down and also the foul shooting. They played 33 games this year by 6 points or less. That's over a third, and they're only 17 and 16. The foul shooting, their front line, all 7 guys, 71% or lower. That is the problem that they've got to overcome.
Now, the Atlanta Hawks, 7th seed, a mediocre season, 43 wins, but the Atlanta Hawks have played the Chicago Bulls very tough. As a matter of fact, in November 7th, in the ring ceremony game here in the stadium, Hawks beat the Bulls 2-2 on the season. Can they beat them in this series?
I think the Hawks are extremely dangerous. The reason is naturally Dominique Wilkins and Kevin Willis. They must come in with big points as well as rebounding and then give you 40 to 42 minutes staying out of foul trouble. Now, when they double team Willis, big man, Willis must find the perimeter people. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the Blaylocks, the Augman, Farrell, Snoopy Graham. Can they come in and shoot a high percentage? But once again, the pressure is up front, Willis and Wilkins.
Well, if you like the NBA, you got to love the playoffs in Chicago Stadium with 2 of the greatest scorers in the history of the game. Jordan and the Bulls, Wilkins and the Hawks. We'll be back for the tip-off right after this. Bob Neal, Hubie Brown with you. You see the World Championship banners on Madison Street at Chicago Stadium. This series this year between the Atlanta Hawks and the defending world champions has been a beauty. At the ring ceremony games, Wilkins blocked Jordan from behind. Hawks win 199, surprising a lot of people. Hawks then went into a struggle, but came back in game 2 in December. Dominique Wilkins lived at the line, 23 out of 23, and the Hawks got him again, 123 to 114. In game 3, the Bulls came awake, 112 to 92. Trent Tucker had a great game. They're going to need him, by the way, from the perimeter in this series. And in game 4, the Hawks had a 17-point lead in Atlanta. They fell asleep, didn't execute well, and Scottie Pippen hit a 3 at the buzzer, and the season series is tied at 2 apiece. As you can see, it could easily have been 3-1 Atlanta Hawks. Now the Chief Eagles starting matchups.
Yeah, you have to like the Wilkins-Pippen. Both guys must stay out of foul trouble. Pippen will put a lot of pressure on Wilkins in the open floor, and then Grant and Willis. Major work underneath. They must stay out of foul trouble.
Bobby Weiss, who played with these Chicago Bulls back in the late 60s, early 70s. He was a very tenacious defender. There is Phil Jackson, former player also with the New York Knicks. Phil Jackson with 2 championship rings. And this game is ready to get underway. Michael Jordan won the scoring title again this year with a 32.6 average. The second leading scorer in the NBA, Dominique Wilkins, at 29-9. Numbers 1 and 2 in scoring in this game. Mickey Blaylock came to Atlanta from New Jersey. Prior to the season, he has answered their questions at the point guard. Stacey Augman will be playing Jordan tonight, and vice versa. On the drive, offensive foul, Malcolm.
That's a tough play. Stacey Augman has averaged 16 points a game versus Chicago. He's a young player. This is his first playoffs, and naturally you don't want to see him pick up a charge because he sliced and he had Michael beat.
Scottie Pippen being defended by Willis. Bulls with 10 seconds to shoot.
Here comes Pippen off a double screen.
Now 5 seconds. Jordan from the corner. 2-0 Chicago.
At this end of the floor, it's going to be interesting to watch the Hawks. Excellent ball movement that time.
Pippen with a foul.
You can see the Hawks reverse the ball back to the top of the circle and use their center contact to get it to the weak side. They make your defense commit on their first move to the right side of the floor, then they swing opposite because Wilkins loves the left side of the floor.
Dominique Wilkins, 83% free throw shooter, went to the line 627 times this year during the regular season.
Well, he's in the top 5 in the league, averaging over 8 a game.
It's tied at 2. Expecting a scoring duel between Wilkins and Jordan.
Big thing tonight for the Hawks. You must take care of your defensive board. Chicago Bulls, the #1 offensive rebounding team in this league.
Blaylock playing Armstrong down inside. Cartwright against Koncak. Blaylock with a steal. He's second in the league. Great hands to Augmon.
That was a travel. That was a travel. Excellent pass that time by Blaylock. This is where the Hawks can hurt the Bulls with Augmon and Blaylock in the open floor.
Cartwright's jumper. 4-4.
Blaylock has really arrived as a point guard. Excellent in assist, 8.5 a game, second in the league in steals, and he loves to deliver the ball. That time to Dominique, comes up short, tied at 4.
Look how long.
One-hand catch off the glass and into the poster reel.
He just clapped for himself a little bit, running back. Why not? That was a great catch. And how about the bank shot?
Wilkins answers. It's still tied at 6. Get ready for his excitement tonight. It's so great to watch Wilkins and Jordan, not to mention some other decent players. Grant against Willis. Good matchup here.
No double team.
Willis, tough D, and the rebound.
Nice. As long as Willis will get it out, the Hawks can cause some damage in the open floor.
Blaylock with a quick 3. He shot that in the blink of an eye.
If you have not seen the Hawks play this year, they average 13 attempts a game from three-point line.
Cartwright against Koncak, isolated. Finds Grant. Nice pass inside for the baseline. Rebound, Koncak.
Both ends of the floor, Bob. We're seeing excellent ball movement.
Stacey Augmon being defended by Jordan. Armstrong, not an excellent defensive player. Could have problems with Blaylock tonight. Inside, Kevin Willis got to hit that short jump hook. That's his game.
He can even get in closer to the lane, Bob. Just take another dribble, and he'll be right inside in front of the hoop. They're not double teaming early, so they're trying to play him man-to-man.
Hawks by 3. Cartwright. Turn around. He has 4 points early.
You've got to shut Billy down. You know, you cannot let him keep taking contact 6 feet from the basket. If you double team him early, he'll kick out. You must make them change their routine.
Augmon kicks it out to Koncak. Misses from long range. There's Willis. Willis had 25 rebounds in a game against Cleveland recently.
The thing with Kevin is just when you get the rebounds, Kevin, just take your time, kick the ball out, reset, and run. Because you're getting nice shots here outside of Wilkins, because he's been contested very strongly twice by Pippen.
17 on the shot clock. Blaylock down inside to Dominique. Strange looking shot 2 times from Wilkins tonight.
See, this is right here. Now Pippen going. Now you have a mismatch with Blaylock. Now his man should be open.
Jordan pulls up at 19.
Oh, he's got it tonight.
Bulls regain the lead. 10-9. Jordan 3 for 4 from the floor.
High screen and roll. Nice pass.
And nice reverse by Kevin Willis, and the Hawks reclaim the lead.
Beautiful pass by Mookie Blaylock, and then Kevin Willis having the presence of mind to come up underneath on the other side to shed the defender off the rim.
Pippen off the Cartwright screen. 17.
The coaching plans here are working. And everyone is really working hard defensively here, but the offense is looking good in the early going.
Bulls 6 out of 8 from the floor. Wilkins, after Pippen drops the bucket. 13-12.
Stacey Augmon, offensive foul. Dominique Wilkins, called respect. Non-call.
Bounce pass from Grant to Cartwright. 14-13 Chicago.
It's all right. That time they caught them without the rotation. They tried to double team big man. Cartwright right to the front of the rim. Smart basketball.
Wilkins got inside of Pippen and is fouled by Horace Grant.
Dominique, the man of many moves. That was a old pro getting down inside, using the head fake, get the man in the air, and the foul. We'd like to show you a screen and roll on this side of the floor for the Hawks. As Mookie Blaylock comes off, he makes an excellent pass. Now, keep an eye on Billy Cartwright, who is the rotation man. Now you're going to see it here. Now, Grant does not step up. He allows Blaylock to turn the corner. Not too good. Now, as Cartwright makes his move, you're going to see Willis come up underneath and shed the other people right there. Smart move. Excellent execution.
Wilkins headed to the free throw line. The Bulls shooting 78%. The Hawks 56%. There have been 6 lead changes in this game already. And it is tied at 14.
Now this guy right now on the foul line, he's a premier foul shooter. He's talking 83%. And during his entire career, Dominique could go to the line and shoots a consistent 82 to 83.
He's 4 for 4 already tonight. 15-14 Hawks, 6:48 to go. First quarter from Chicago Stadium. The Bulls in defense of their 2-time world championship quest, looking for the three-peat.
Now that time they came down the floor, it was not a zone press. It was a man-to-man, just to get them to waste a little time. We're inside of 7 seconds.
Willis now. There's the double team on Cartwright. Gets it to Pippen. Nice play by Dominique. Outlet from Concac. Wilkins with a layup. Now that's news.
Right. It looked like he paused. He paused in midair right there.
Good thing I waited. I had him jamming it already.
Nice outlet by Concac.
Grant from long range hits the jumper. Horace Grant with his first basket of the night. Dominique Wilkins, by the way, has 10 points early to lead all scorers. Michael Jordan with 6. During the season, Jordan has outdueled and outscored. Wilkins has outscored Jordan.
The Hawks love to run baseline motion with either Wilkins or Willis coming to the ball. Now they're in a 2-man set.
Grant isolated, as you see. Kevin Willis too far away from that from the basket for the short jump.
Good call, Bob, because he's going away on the jump shot, on the jump ball.
B.J. Armstrong, the NBA leader in threes, hit a 2 there. He stepped on the line.
B.J.'s had a sensational season. Number 1 in threes, shooting a high percentage, 50% from the field.
Offensive foul, Kevin Willis.
I see right now Kevin cannot get upset because he jumped into the chest of the defender, but he did get fouled early. Now you see Grant's fighting him off. All right, now he got the elbow in the back. You could see that, but the referee on the baseline definitely was blocked out on that call.
Bulls by 1. 5:16 to go first quarter. Cartwright. Blaylock stepping down to go for the ball. Concac got a piece of it. Out of bounds off Chicago. Atlanta ball.
See, Cartwright's complaining to the referee, Mike Mathis. He thought he was bumped, and on the release, he definitely lost control of the ball.
Blaylock defended by Armstrong, looking for Wilkins against Pippen. Up and up. Big rebound there by Horace Grant.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move by Wilkins.
Jordan misses the 3. Willis kept it alive. Run down by Grant. Concac with a foul. Pippen misses the lay-in. He'll go to the line.
See, this is the area that we tried to emphasize once this game began, and that is that we have the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the league, in the Bulls. You must protect your defensive board, because when they get that second shot, when you're talking guys like Jordan, Pippen, and Grant, they're going to get you in foul trouble.
Pippen at the free throw line this year, one of those up front players shooting under 70% for the Bulls. He's shooting 66% from the line. That's a Bulls here. And the Bulls have a 3-point lead with 4:35 to go in the first quarter. Chicago on a 6-0 run. Hawks are milking Willis down on that block early.
You see bad spacing. See, they got bad spacing here because he was double teamed and one man was playing 2 on the other side.
Jordan's pull-up jumper goes down. Bulls by 5. That's an 8-0 run.
He's in some flow. Bobby Weiss wants a timeout. Excellent call. Right now, you do not want to allow this building to get into the game. Call a timeout. Shut him down.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Bulls 22, Hawks 17. Jordan has 8 early. Dominique Wilkins has 10 points early. They are certainly the marquee players, but not the only high-profile guys.
As you look at this, Jordan first in steals and points, Wilkins second, everyone talking about them, but how about Willis fifth? Blaylock second in steals and 8 in assists. Then you have Pippen 10th in steals. Grant second in offensive rebounding. He averages 4 per game.
And an early substitution for Chicago. McRae in for Pippen. Chicago shooting 71% on this 8-0 run.
You cannot fall asleep when you play the Hawks because of their baseline motion. And they'll bring off Wilkins, Willis, or Augman. Augman is a dynamite player at 6'8". He's in his second year. From the foul line down, plus he shoots over 50%.
We'll keep you posted on that Knicks Pacers game. And by the way, Grant now with 1 personal foul. Jordan left alone.
You can't do that. You cannot allow the guard to get screened and then not step up and pick up Michael Jordan, because he'll be in the middle of the floor all night long.
Near steal. That's the leading steal guy in the league and the number 2 guy. Augman on the drive, gets the offensive board, blocked by Grant. Willis. Jump hook.
Give Stacey Augman a lot of credit. He really hustled that time. He's getting no respect right now because he's been bumped a number of times this evening. But he's out here. He's hustling.
Willis 2 for 5 shooting tonight. That was the first time the little jump hook went. Armstrong got Blaylock airborne. Grant, another offensive board, and he's fouled.
Dominic pushed him in the lower back that time. A definite foul. But see, right now the pressure is on the front line. Wilkins, Willis, Concac to rebound. Stacey Augman must come back in there. You're talking about a 6'8" second guard who's got to come back in and get you 5 to 7 rebounds tonight to take the pressure off the main 3 frontline people.
They're giving that foul to Willis, which, by the way, will be his second. Dominique pushed him in the back, but
he sure did.
But Willis got called for the foul, and that's significant because Kevin will go to the bench, and in comes rookie Adam Keefe out of Stanford.
Now you take Willis out of this game. You're talking a guy 7 foot, a shot blocker, a guy who can score for you down on a block. You replace him with Keefe, who is not a shot blocker, and he doesn't take up a lot of space down inside.
Adam Keefe played in all 82 games, started 6 times, missed the entire preseason with a hamstring. Took him a while to get started, averaged 6 points a game.
It's a crucial play. That rebound was right in Comcac's hand. He lost possession of the basketball, and now you end up again. Now just think about this. In the last 45 seconds, the Bulls have come down with 3 offensive rebounds, fouled on every single one, and what they're doing here, do you see that? That was just uncalled for. You've got to play stronger. You're on the road. You've got to intimidate and not be intimidated in the painted area.
Foul was on Mookie Blaylock. Cartwright hits them both.
Watch out for the press now.
Bill Cartwright has 8 points early in this ball.
There's the trap. You got to get it up now. See, when you press, you love it when teams just get it over half court and stop and then wait, because you don't lose a thing. Once that hurts you, other guys can take it over half court and score.
Hawks just now looking for the shot with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Dominique with a very tough shot. That's goaltending. Credit Dominique with the basket, his 12th point of the night. It is Bulls 26, Hawks 24, 2:42 remaining in the first quarter.
Hawks are doing a nice job. They're weathering a terrific offensive spurt here by the Bulls, and they're right in this game.
Everything Jordan does is exaggerated. That fadeaway covered about 6 feet.
He said today that he was nervous because it's playoff time. He's definitely showing it here in his first quarter.
Wilkins draws the foul, gets the hoop. 3-point opportunity for Dominique Wilkins.
Beautiful. A great move by a great offensive player. He took McRae right into that lane, got him up in the air. Now this is a terrific move, and he just doesn't have a thing. McRae's right with, there's your pump fake, get him up, push off. Offensive player usually gets that call.
Remember, Wilkins has outscored Jordan in the season series with Chicago and Atlanta. Right now the Bulls by 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dominique Wilkins has 14 points. Everybody covered somebody, and Cartwright was left alone. Blaylock knocked it away from McRae. 22 on the shot clock. Paxson and McRae in off the bench for the Chicago Bulls. Jordan.
All that was just a little quick screen for him right in the lane.
Blaylock, quick penetration, draws the foul.
Dominique Wilkins took a nasty spill as he came across half court on the left side. There was a little collision, and he went down. Now, he looks like he's limping here a little bit, but he's been in conversation with Bobby Weiss on the side. See, right now they're talking about at the other end. Now, just here's a real strong move by Blaylock. Naturally, he gets fouled in his position, but Neek to the right of your screen was already down. You could see Bobby Weiss up there. He was talking to him. Now, what they're talking about is at the other end of the floor, all that was a small forward screen on Michael Jordan. He just curled, and he was wide open on that out-of-bounds play.
Ricky Blaylock, also an excellent free throw shooter. Blaylock is not that excellent, really, 73% at the line. But Blaylock has really come into his own as the point guard here.
Playing with a great deal of confidence, and like Bobby told us today, the rest of the players respect his ability to be a true point guard.
The Bulls, as well as they're playing, lead it by only 2 with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Paxson with bone on bone on that knee. He doesn't even brace it anymore. He just plays as best he can.
The clear out.
Got Dominique Wilkins on the hole.
I tell you, if I'm Dominique, I'm a little upset myself, because I thought he guessed, and he guessed correctly. Michael came right into him on that offensive move.
Will Perdue coming in for Bill Cartwright with a minute 23 to go in the first quarter. Now we're going to see where the bench comes into play. McRae, Paxson, Perdue off the bench. Perdue screen. Jordan drains it, and Michael has 16.
See, you can't do that, Bob. That's the second time he's come off that wide screen in a screen in a row. The post player has got to get up and get a hand in his face.
Michael 8 of 10 from the floor. Now McRae trying to defend Dominique Wilkins. He won't be able to do that. In the middle, Dominique has it knocked away. 5 on the shot clock. Looked like McRae got a piece of that. Wilkins runs it down. What a play! Nice. Stacey Augmon misses. Jordan blows by. Henson pull-up jumper. Drained in. 18 first quarter points for Michael Jordan.
He's like radar tonight.
The Bulls in a frenzy now. Keith falls down. Chicago ball. This crowd is into this game. Jordan has hit 6 shots in a row.
Hey, Bobby's trying to remain calm on the side, but when you put your second unit in and they still have Jordan in the ball game, each possession is magnified. You cannot turn it over. You must get the ball to your key guys out there and get off a high percentage shot.
Jordan misses finally after hitting 6 in a row. Contact traveled.
3 on 2.
Augmon off to a bad start. Perdue with the rebound.
Plenty of seconds here.
Paxson's fade away. Yes, at the buzzer. And the Bulls at the end of one quarter lead it by 8. They ended on an 8-2 run. Game 1, round 1. The Bulls' defense of their title. They lead it by 8 after the first 12 minutes of action. The Bulls 36-28. Wilkins with 14 points. He's on pace for 56 tonight. Jordan on track for a 72-point performance.
Yeah, we look at that first quarter, Bob. The difference, Chicago, 4 offensive rebounds, 10 points. And then the Bulls are shooting 70%, 16 for 23. Little half-court trap here now.
Trent Tucker in for Chicago. Scottie Pippen, the pull-up jumper. Over Dominique Wilkins. A 10-point Bulls bulge. Keefe, Steve Henson, Snoop Graham, Randy Brewer, and Wilkins in there for Atlanta right now. People talk about the deficiencies of the Bulls bench. It's stronger than Atlanta's. Offensive foul, Dominique Wilkins. His second personal foul.
Scottie Pippen has guessed correctly a couple of times this evening. And that was an excellent call. Just watch. Scottie anticipates. There it is right there. Now just watch. See, he used the forearm and the elbow right in the chest to put him down.
Dominique goes to the bench, and Dwayne Farrell out of Georgia Tech comes into the ballgame. So the Hawks are entirely manned by bench players at this point in the game. The bench for Atlanta played well at the end of the season, however. A 3, Trent Tucker.
Oh, give me a break. Wow, they're 2 for 2. They got to be shooting about 75% right now.
Looks like maybe the Bulls have turned it up a notch come playoff time. You think?
Right now you have a lot of young guys in the ball game, you know, who have not played in the playoffs. You have 4 out of 5 guys. Randy Brewer, the only guy. Nice pass.
From Henson to Adam Keefe.
I like Henson. Henson sees the floor. He's got good vision, and he makes the correct pass. Plus, he's a good outside shooter.
Henson, 3rd year from Kansas State. Will Perdue against Brewer. Goes to the left hand. That's a new move by Will Perdue.
Yeah, they're out here, though, before the game, working with Tex Winter, Cartwright, and Will Perdue, working all of their offensive moves before this ball game.
Nice touch on that one. Graham gets inside. Williams with a rebound. Bulls have Scott Williams, Pippen, Perdue, Tucker, and Paxson on the floor. Paxson thought about the 3. Farrell defending Pippen. 6 seconds to shoot. Tucker kicks it to Pippen. He's all alone. Rebound Perdue.
Another rebound.
Paxson. Perdue over the back. He'll have the foul.
The reason why you love the Bulls is that they work so hard at the offensive end of the floor. All of their front court people, when they shoot and miss, they do not assume that you're getting that rebound. They're coming over you, giving you body contact, and they all have long arms, and they can get it from behind you if you do not put your body into their chest. I would like to show you what happened on that last shot. As Paxson goes to take this shot, here's Randy Brewer here. He's going to come across and try to block out Will Perdue. Now, as the shot goes up, this is playoff time. When you're responsible for a blockout, see, you cannot have daylight. No daylight. Why? They already have 5 offensive rebounds and 12 points. You've got to put your body in the chest and move him back. And in that way, you get the job done.
That's called telestatistics that you just did there. That's a new word. Brewer blocked by Scott Williams.
Send it down strong. The front court shooting tonight below the dotted line is great at the Chicago end, poor at the Atlanta end. They're getting good shots. Willis, Augman, and that one right there by Randy Brewer. He's 7'4", and by going parallel to the floor, he made himself 5'6". Even you had a shot at that.
I could have got a hold of it. I think so. Offensive foul. It's on Dwayne Farrell. 43-30. Bulls by 13. 9:38 to go in the first half. And here's that New York-Indiana game. The Knicks also turning it up a notch. A 10-point bulge over Indiana. And look who's playing well, Charles Smith.
See, Bobby Weiss is a problem here. This unit's on the floor, and they're not getting any shots, Bob.
Brewer with the foul.
Too many turnovers for the guys in red.
Yeah, who's going to take the shots there? You know, Adam Keefe had a big offensive game the other night, but he's not exactly an offensive power.
Nice.
Stripped away. Farrell had got a hand on it. Here comes Steve Henson.
Second unit by the Bulls. Very strong defensive retreating and matching up.
6'8" Adam Keefe rounding it inside. Goes to the left hand. Nice move. Keefe has had an increasingly more productive season. He's definitely getting better and better as the season goes along.
Well, they need he or Purdue too. I mean, he and Brewer to establish something down the side.
Purdue gets it to Trent Tucker. He misses. Purdue comes back now to Pippen. Purdue looking good here tonight.
Nice pass.
Paxson. That's a two.
Beautiful ball movement, Bob. They're making the extra pass, and the guys are wide open. They're open by 6 to 8 feet. Bulls trapping all pick and rolls.
8 on the shot clock. Nice play by Farrell, knifing through the lane, avoiding the block attempt by Purdue. It's an 11-point Bulls lead.
With Wilkins on the bench, Farrell must get some points for them at that small forward position.
Purdue from 18 feet.
You love it. See, that was a down screen away. Randy Brewer is arguing with the guy who's screening him. I mean, you got to get through that screen.
Purdue 2 for 2, 4 points, 3 rebounds. He's strong off the bench tonight. Cartwright sat down with 8 points. He came in and gave him a good start. So 12 points out of the center position for the Bulls so far. Hinson for 3. Scott Williams. Intercepted by Hinson. What a play. Williams stayed back, picked up the loose ball.
See, the second unit of the Bulls, along with either Pippen or Jordan, who's been in there with them. Excellent ball movement, beautiful spacing, and they're getting high percentage shots. No double team.
Jump ball. Not a jump ball. It was Randy Brewer, the 7'4" Brewer, blocking the 7-foot-tall Will Purdue. We're going to get Willis and Blaylock back in this ball game for Atlanta.
And just watch the ball movement. You see, they're extending the defense. And that nice head fake, that forced a switch, opening up Paxson. And we have to keep saying, they're shooting over 65%. The Bulls are making a mockery of low field goal percentage because it's pressure time.
47-34 Chicago. The Bulls shooting 68%, leading 47-34. Coming up right after this game tonight, we continue the TNT playoff coverage. Los Angeles Lakers at the Phoenix Suns. Most people think the Suns are the team to beat in the West. There's that shooting percentage, 68%. And those 10 misses, 7 times they got the ball back. The Hawks at 46%. Jump ball. Purdue gets it. Pippen runs it down.
Well, we said at the top of the show when we came on that Willis and Wilkins must give them 40 minutes. The complexion of this game changed as soon as Willis picked up the second and Wilkins picked up his second.
Jordan fouled on the shot.
By Willis.
That's his third that quickly. Willis was in the game 10 seconds. He picked up his third foul. And we'll go back to the bench.
Now, the reason why we bring this out for the people who have not watched the Hawks this year, see, Willis gives you 18 points a game, and he is in the top 5 rebounders in the league at 13. He's also an excellent shot blocker for you, but he's 7'2", and you're talking about a guy who's got the physique to hold people out. Since he's out of there, all of a sudden the white shirts are climbing all over their offensive board.
Now Horace Grant back in the game. Scott Williams will get a rest. Jordan gets them both. It is a 15-point Bulls lead with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. The Bulls have done almost nothing wrong in this first half of play. There's that screen and roll. Blaylock pulls up into the jumper.
It's interesting. Second unit versus second unit, they trap the screen and roll. The first unit, they're trying to get underneath it. Blaylock's been open twice.
Grant tried to hit Purdue. Pippen gets the loose ball.
This a mismatch. He'll take him off the dribble.
Purdue with a rebound, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Purdue, one of these up-front players for Chicago with a poor shooting percentage from the free throw line. He shoots at 60%.
It's a smart basketball. Just take him strong off that. Now, as you shoot, you have the center on the move, and now your center has the height advantage to get on the offensive board. That's what you love about watching the Bulls. They always take advantage of a mismatch. You'll see the clear out, and then the guy will take his man.
Now Koncak back in as Randy Brewer sits down. John Koncak has no points in the game, carrying 1 foul.
Well, Purdue has really had an excellent season this year. He's really blossomed, matured, and he not only can score for you, he rebounds and he kicks the ball out. He gets that fast break started. Here's that screen roll. You see, now they gave a fake trap.
Oh, nice look by Blaylock. Farrell was not ready for it.
Now, you see, they both cringe. Now, you know, you hate to say, well, who gets the turnover? Mookie Blaylock. But we all know that if Farrell would have been moving to the ball, he had a layup.
Bulls by 14, 6:10 remaining in the first half.
They're still hanging around here nice and tough. But the Bulls are not going to continue to shoot over 65%.
There's the double team on Jordan. Open man, Pippen.
Oh, my.
That was a pass.
Sure it was.
Henson runs it down.
Are you vying for agency here? What are you trying to do?
Farrell has it rejected by Horace Grant.
That's the third rejection that we've seen on a layup. In a game like this, when you're playing a shot blocking team like the Bulls, you must take it strong and send it down with 2 hands. Can't send up any soft stuff tonight.
Farrell with the penetration into Wilkins. He gets his offensive board, says block this.
They did block the initial, but he's working so hard. Tonight, Wilkins is all over the place. You just hope that he does not pick up his third.
Purdue. Grant. The loose ball. Purdue misses the jumper. Koncak with it. Hawks run. It's a 12-point Bulls lead. Hawks hoping to cut it down to 10. Scott Williams. Stacey King is going to be in the game short for Chicago. Wilkins, nice move. Double clutch. Koncak gets the weak side rebound, knocked out by Chicago.
You know, this is sad. Because Koncak just dropped another rebound. If Koncak catches that basketball, he goes right back up and he scores.
How about this? Are these two teams on a collision course? If you look at the opening games of the playoffs, they are. The Knicks shooting 63% tonight. Everybody thinks it'll be Chicago and New York.
Double team on Dominique.
He just had to throw it up for grabs. Saved by Blaylock. Grant gets it. Armstrong. Pull up.
Did you know wrong? When your post people get double teamed, your spacing has got to be available so that the guy who gets double teamed can see the short pass and the long pass.
Atlanta with 7 turnovers. The Bulls with only 3. Chicago leading it by 14.
We'd like to show you why Dominique Wilkins ended up with a turnover. Right now, you have 2 defensive players on Dominique. All right, now you have a third player cutting off the outlet, Mookie Blaylock. Now look at this. 2 offensive guys standing so one guy can pick them up. This guy, Michael Jordan, also has a man. That is bad fundamental basketball. You must have your triangle spacing because anytime people get double teamed, they must have a short and long pass on an outlet.
Stacey Augmon playing against Jordan. Spins into the lane. And the foul on Jordan. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Hubie Brown and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. There's a chance it could be Michael Jordan. Wilkins blows past Pippen, gets him airborne, then double clutches. Pippen, nice defense, caused Dominique to travel.
He's such a tough cover, okay? Now you can see that. He made a strong move, gave a pump fake, and Scottie Pippen stayed on the ground. Now remember, last year, first time, Scottie Pippen, first team, all defensive forwards.
Blaylock got that block. It's going to be Chicago ball. Mike Mathis overruled the call and says no.
He's got a foul. He's got a foul.
Overruling Steve Javie. They're having a little argument about it. Discussion would be more like it. Nolan Fine, the third official.
I think he's got a foul here.
Loose ball.
Right, in the lower back. He had it all the way. I'll just keep an eye on this down in here. There it is right there. Horace Grant with a push-off. Mike Mathis right on the ball.
Grant's second personal foul. Good call by Mathis. You see it on the right side of your screen.
He had that all the way, Bob.
Augmon clear out. Low pass Jordan. Pull up. Rebound Jordan. Knocks Koncak down. Lob ahead. Nice. One-touch King. Fouled by Adam Keefe.
Beautiful pass by Michael Jordan. Always give the ball up ahead and force the defense. Then Scottie Pippen. Now just watch Michael. Michael looks up, he sees it, he makes the pass, and then unselfish play. Beautiful move by Scottie Pippen. Strong move right here by King.
Michael Jordan is obviously ready for the playoffs. 20 points in this ball game.
Well, I like what he said, though, Bob. He said, yeah, you know, you're always nervous. He said, but you remember, it's only one game tonight. That's all. He says, if you win or if you lose, you're only down one or you're up one. That's it. You forget about it. You come out tomorrow. Nice pass.
This is the biggest Bulls lead of 16 into Wilkins. Offensive foul.
That's it. See, when that pass came down, they had a 3-on-1. And then you end up with a turnover when you should have a slam dunk. Now, why Koncak made that extra pass beats me. All he had to do was take that one in strong.
He is reluctant to score inside.
Out travel. And the foul on Blaylock. Mookie Blaylock's got a good point. I think just like Mookie Blaylock that he traveled coming off. He definitely takes the little steps. Then he goes up. Definitely Blaylock bumps him. Now this is what we call a triangle guard around. Here comes the guard play. Now you're going to see it right there. There it is. It's travel. And then Mookie Blaylock gets the bump.
And Armstrong gets a three-point conversion. And the Bulls with the biggest lead of the game, 19 points. Chicago on a 7-0 run, and Dominique missed the layup.
The shots are there, though, Bob. They've had a ton of shots below the dotted line in the painted area.
Jordan in the no-look to Grant. Stolen by Keefe. Blaylock for three.
He gets to that spot very quick, and the release of the shot. He's shooting for the year 38% in threes.
Never known as a three-point shooter previously. Grant's one touch to B.J. Armstrong. Blaylock got there. It's Atlanta ball.
Fortunately for the Hawks, they stopped playing volleyball and knocked it out off the white shirts.
Blaylock at the point has 10 points tonight, looking for Keefe down on the block against Grant. Jump hook. No offensive boards. Armstrong misses the two. Loose ball foul. That'll be on Chicago. Stacey King is first.
Yeah, Keefe did a nice job that time. He boxed out and then pushed Stacey King back so that when he did elevate, he came right down on top of him. If I'm on the coaching staff tonight with the Hawks, for game 2 or in the second half, I know I can get good shots down inside.
Yeah.
But we've got to play a little stronger. Hold our spot, shoot a higher percentage, and then anytime we take it to the rim, go strong with two hands because it's there.
Dominique Wilkins draws 3 white jerseys before he pulls it back out. 7 on the shot clock. Dominique pulls up and misses.
That's a bad shot. See, he was determined to shoot that.
Jordan fouled by Dominique Wilkins, pushed into the expensive seats.
See, Nolan Fine was right on that ball. He rode him in, had his left arm right on his hip, and that's Wilkins' third.
Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls begin their defense of the World Championship. Bob Neal, Hubie Brown with you. It was a close game at the beginning, then 2 early fouls. 2 on Willis, 2 on Wilkins, and the nature of the game turned. The Chicago Bulls shooting percentage has hovered between 65 and 70%. They've been dominating the offensive boards, and they lead now 57-41 with 1:48 to go in the half.
Of all the Hawks frontline people,
Willis is the only one that's going to instill any kind of fear into the Bulls in regards to pounding on that offensive glass.
And he's on the bench with 3 fouls.
That's right.
Augmon dribbles into real trouble. Look at this defense. This is the defense the world champions played last year. Contact misses. Pippen. King block. Foul call. Keith got a piece of the ball. And they're calling him for his second personal.
Yeah, he came across the top that time, Bob. Caught a piece of this head. You know, King is getting out and running the lanes, Bob. He's running hard.
Coming up at halftime, Reebok halftime report. Bulls have had all 4 of their big men in this ball game tonight. Good start by Bill Cartwright at center. Ernie Johnson will be joined by Warriors head coach Don Nelson. You know, the Knicks had their pre-playoff training camp in Charleston, South Carolina. We'll have a report on that. Also a preview of the Lakers-Sun game tonight, which comes up right after this with a live interview with Lakers head coach Randy Funn. 59-41 here, Bulls. Minute 20 to go, first half. Into Keith. Hawks have been held to 43 first half points.
The point guards are getting the people the ball in the right positions. The front court people have got to start scoring.
Jordan left alone on the baseline. Misses this jumper. His arm's probably tired. Armstrong for 3. Another offensive board. King. Another tip back in. That was Michael Jordan, and he's got his number, 23 in points. Keith is fouled by Scott Williams. Fortunate break for Adam Keith there. He was surprised by Williams. Could easily have been called for a travel.
The story of the first half, the fouls to Willis and Wilkins, and then the dominant offensive rebounding by the Chicago Bulls.
Adam Keith, pretty good shooter facing the basket, but Adam Keith is only a fair free throw shooter at 70%. And he gets the bounce. It's a 16-point Bulls lead with under a minute to go in the first half. It was 26-24 when Wilkins and Willis picked up their second personal foul each, and that's when the Bulls took off. There's another offensive board and another foul. Again, not having Kevin Willis on the floor gives the Hawks very little chance on the rebounding glass.
Anytime that you're getting a double team, naturally you're going to be at a disadvantage defensively on the offside rebounding. That's why your guards must come back in and rebound. Your second guard, if you're going to be trapping the Bulls out at 15 feet, well, then your second guard must get back in there and help you out on the boards.
Kevin Willis on the bench with 3 personal fouls.
Michael said today we've been practicing. Practices have been very heated. And he said, I just can't wait so he can play someone else other than our own guys.
That's certainly a good sign. Blaylock with a quick pull-up 3. What a quick release.
That is a tough shot, and that's his third 3.
He's the Joe Namath of quick release on the 3. Lukey Blaylock has 13 points already in this game. 14 seconds to go in the half. Those 3s holding the Hawks in some sense, 62-48. Jordan blows by Keith. There's contact. Contact finally gets a board. The Bulls dominating the offensive rebounding, shooting a very high percentage, and they are really turning it up for their defense of the title. 62-48 at the half. After these commercial messages, we'll be joining Ernie Johnson Jr. and Don Nelson in Atlanta.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok, to remind you that on Planet Reebok, there are no rules.
They are halfway home at Chicago Stadium, 62-48, the Chicago lead over the Atlanta Hawks in Game 1 of their Eastern Conference first-round series. This is the Reebok Halftime Report. I'm Ernie Johnson. This is Don Nelson, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. You know, Chicago, there are some doubters saying, their reign is about to end, but this bunch looks pretty good, Nelly.
Well, I'm one of them, and I'll admit that. I think it is going to end somewhere along the line, but maybe not in this series. You know, you'd like to say somebody else is doing a little something, but it comes back to Michael Jordan. He's got 23 for 23. That's number 23. And it's the Chicago defense.
Yeah, Hawks were hanging with them for a while, but Chicago's starting to pull away, and they lead by 14 at the break. Now, Game 2 of our Friday night doubleheader will match up the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's look into that series a little more as we talk with Randy Funn, the head coach of the Lakers, who joins us from the America West Arena in Phoenix. And Randy, I got to point out the fact that they swept the season series from you and that everything on paper says Phoenix should win this thing. How do you convince your guys they can make this thing competitive?
Well, you know, there's no shortcuts to beating the Phoenix Suns. You know, we're very aware of that. They're a very good basketball team. If there was a way that was an easy way to beat this team, one of the NBA teams in this league would have found out, and it would have gone around and people would have known. So we just have to play good basketball. It's very obvious. You got to play good basketball in a lot of areas. You have to take care of a lot of people, and it's just a matter of us upping our game in a lot of different areas if we're going to compete with the Phoenix Suns.
Randy, this is Nelly. What are you going to do with Barkley? When we played him, you know, when we double-teamed him, it was almost worse. They spread you out. They've got the great outside shooters. What in the world are you going to do with this guy?
Well, you know, he does it all, and I think if you look back at the kind of season he's had all the way to last summer in the Olympics, the guy has just really taken over the Western Conference, and we're just going to have to give him a lot of looks. There's a lot of different ways to play him. We've got some different things in mind, but from that standpoint, I just think you got to try to keep him off balance and hope that the other people don't hurt you too bad.
Randy, Worthy's got to play big for you. If he doesn't play big, I can't see that you have much of a chance. How many minutes do you think you can get out of him?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt we'll shorten up the rotations. That's something that we've done here with this team over the years. When we won championships, a lot of times we'd shorten the rotation to 7 guys when we got deep into the playoffs. So we'll try to shorten it up and get effective minutes out of James. We'll just have to see how the game goes. But James Worthy, AC Green, Vlade Divac will have to play big minutes for us to be successful against this team.
Coach, how is Anthony Peeler feeling? Is he available?
Well, Anthony will not play, I'm sure, at all in this first series. If we do have the opportunity to go past this first series, then maybe Anthony would be a possibility. And it's a big loss for us. But Phoenix has lost Kevin Johnson, and from that standpoint, it's a little easier to aim at them. But that's a big loss for us. Anthony had come on great later part of the season, and we'll really miss him.
Randy Funn, thank you so much for joining us. Good
Okay,
talking
guys.
to you, and we wish you the best of luck against the Suns.
All right, thanks a lot.
Randy Funn joining us from America West Arena. So now what are your thoughts on that series? Can they take one against Phoenix?
No, I think Randy's smart in saying let's shorten the rotations right away because I don't think he's going to get deep into the playoffs.
That is Game 2 of our Friday night doubleheader. You're going to see the Phoenix Suns and the LA Lakers from America West Arena right after our Chicago-Atlanta game. And coming up, we'll take a look at Indiana and New York. They're tipping it off at Madison Square Garden in their Eastern Conference first rounder. The highlights are next. 48 over the Atlanta Hawks. Coach Don Nelson back with us. What did you do in the playoffs to get your guys ready, to get them focused? You ever take any of these trips and get away from it all?
I've tried everything. The main thing that you want to do is to get total concentration mentally and physically. You don't want to worry about taking the garbage out. You don't want to worry about the press. You want to get somewhere isolated where it's just you and your ball club.
I ought to try that. I'm tired of taking the trash out, too. Pat Riley's one of those guys who is a firm believer in getting away from it all. And it's not for R&R, but Charleston, South Carolina has been his choice last playoffs and this playoffs. You don't hear the cabbies honking their horns. You hear the horses' hooves on the cobblestone in quaint Charleston, South Carolina. First shots of the Civil War were fired in this city, and the Knicks prepare for battle in Charleston. They were there last Monday, stayed through Wednesday, and in between 4 intense practices as the Knicks readied for the Pacers.
And you're going into the most important part of your season. I think you should go somewhere and regroup and renew and reaffirm exactly what your goals are. You know, if there wasn't time, we wouldn't do it, but we do have time to do it, and I think a couple of days down here really refocuses us in on what we have to do.
Well, it's way different from New York City. I think there's somewhere to come relax, and it's the South, and, you know, not knocking it, you know, got a lot going on down here, but, you know, we come down just for business and practice and go back to our room and get ready and really concentrate on the Pacers.
One thing that happens during the regular season is you come in with all your plays and everything, and then you run them, you get better, but you slack down, you slack off on a couple of key things, and this is a great opportunity for us to sharpen up on some of the things that we want to do in the playoffs.
I'm very aware of the history here, but no, we have not come down here and searched out any of the relics of the past, you know. But maybe there is something about Charleston and the fact that we have a warlike mentality. You know, maybe it was just sort of something that that came with the territory.
We're not enjoying the seaside climate, I can tell you that. He's General Patton. I mean, he's a guy who he likes war. He likes the history of it all, and he uses that to kind of teach us. And I guess we're his little soldiers.
His little soldiers aren't doing too badly. Pat Riley picking the right place in Charleston because his guys are out of the gate quickly tonight. Patrick Ewing with the block. Here comes that little soldier, Doc Rivers. Going to find the big soldier, Charles Oakley, who throws it down. Now, Rick Smits tries to answer. Nelly, how do you get this thing to go in?
I don't know, but I made one like this in the 7th game that won the world championship for us. So you ought to get 2.5 for that.
I don't think that one's going to win the world title, but shoot, it was worth showing. Oakley and Ewing right here. What a nice look to number 33, who throws it down. But a moment of concern for the New York faithful because Patrick going up to try to block Sam Mitchell and hits the deck at Madison Square Garden. Went to the side for a while, did return to the game. And New York is enjoying a 60-46 lead over the Pacers. They are at the break, and we will be right back.
The Chicago Bulls leading at 62-48. I think one of the things that's most impressive about that score, Hubie Brown, is that the way the Bulls are playing, the Hawks could easily be down 30. And another important stat, 14-5. That's the dominance of the Bulls on the offensive boards.
Yeah, we'd like to show you people here. Once this shot goes up, now we're going to freeze it right there. Now keep an eye on this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 red shirts. But now just watch. Inside position. Comes up on this side. Keep an eye on Michael Jordan coming from the baseline. Now this is just all effort. Where are the red shirts in regards to the elevation? Where are the see, there are no shirts up around rim level. Kevin Willis, 3 fouls, only 9 minutes of play in the first half. You look at the rebounding, you say, wow, 14 offensive rebounds, go right down to the bottom. That's 24 points. And we say it all the time at playoff time. You must take care of your defensive board first. That everybody's got to come back in there. You cannot be fast breaking unless you take care of your boards. The turnovers, the defense is not there for the Hawks. The Bulls only had 3, and then naturally the assist. The Bulls are making the extra pass.
Our Stars story, Jordan with his number 23, Wilkins with 16. Dominique had 14 in the first quarter after he picked up his 3rd foul, only 2 in the second full quarter. So the story for Dominique and Kevin Willis in the second quarter, both carrying 3 fouls, limited playing time and opportunities, and thus the 14-point Chicago Bulls lead. Jordan. This time Willis with the rebound.
You're only down 14. Your front court people have had a very, very poor half from an offensive standpoint, as well as Augmon. Now, just get back in your control. Get this down to about 8 to 9 points going into the last quarter.
Pippen defending Augmon. 5 seconds for the Hawks to get a shot up 3. Blaylock has to throw it up. Armstrong got a piece of that. Hawks had no offensive set at all on that possession. Jordan blows by Augmon, dishes to Grant, fouled by contact.
Anytime that Atlanta releases a long shot, the defender is taking off and putting pressure. That time Michael missed Armstrong. He was wide open down underneath the basket. See, this you got to do something about this. See, that opens Cartwright up every time.
And Cartwright can kill you there. Cartwright now has 10 points in this ball game, and he's only played 11 minutes. Augmon hard to the hoop. Can't get it to fall, but he will go to the free throw line.
See, I like his tenacity. I like his tenacity, Bob. He's really after it. He's going strong all night. He's coming in at halftime with an, you know, he's exasperated. He's 2 for 7. He makes another strong move, and that was a late whistle. That was a late whistle.
Stacey Augmon from UNLV, known in college for his outstanding defensive play. Excellent quickness, good one-on-one defender. He's averaging 14 points a game this year. Actually, despite his struggles here tonight, he is up a little bit in his offensive production, but somehow or other, most people feel a little disappointed in his production for the Hawks.
Well, he doesn't do it night in and night out, and a lot of times against the good defensive teams. But against Chicago, he's averaging 16.
Pippen kicks it out to Armstrong. Offside rebound to Grant. Another offensive board. Another offensive board. Armstrong doesn't miss his second opportunity. Bulls by 16.
See, there's nothing you can do as a coach. Okay, if your guys who have inside position do not want the physical contact, and then they will not react and at least get up in the air, you do not even see a red shirt anywhere near that rim.
Willis pulls up. No offensive board for Atlanta. Bulls on the run.
Beautiful.
Michael Jordan has 25. Contact right in his way. Michael just shifted hands and finessed it inside the iron. Bulls playing tough half-court defense. 5 seconds to shoot. Willis is going to have to take that one. No offensive board again. Bulls on the run again.
Look out.
Strong.
Nice. See, he's been open. Anytime the shot is going up, they're putting a lot of pressure on Atlanta's guards. They're catching him in a no-man land. Armstrong takes off long. You can make that pass with ease.
Biggest lead of the game.
The 1993 NBA playoffs on TNT is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks, and by Dutch Boy Paint. Dutch Boy has the look that lasts.
Bulls with their biggest lead of the game, 70-50.
Keep an eye on Michael Jordan as he takes his handoff from Pippen. Watch the stagger dribble first. Watch it. He gets by his man. Now the shifting of the hands. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Bulls by 20. Out rebounding the Hawks in the third quarter, 5-1. Atlanta 0 for 3. Bulls 4 for 7. Bulls on an 8-2 run. That's a 3, making an 11-2 run, and B.J. Armstrong has 14 points. Chicago says, a lot of people said, will the Bulls be able to turn it up come the playoffs? Remember, the first playoff game last year against the Knicks, the Bulls got beat here at Chicago Stadium. Traveling on Wilkins.
Right now, they have them so frustrated. The offense is not flowing. The good ball movement that we saw in that first quarter, non-existent. Everything now, the ball gets to you, it stops one-on-one play. You can't beat the Bulls 1 against 5.
Keefe in for contact for Atlanta. 8:38 to go in the quarter. Cartwright quick turnaround of the whip.
Big Bill looks good this evening.
And his legs look alive. You know, that's been, of course, the worry as he's missed so many games this year, but he looks healthy. Blaylock, quick release, and trains it. His perimeter shooting has been one of the few highlights for Atlanta. 15 points. Jordan blows by Augmon. Augmon got a piece of it. Offensive rebound. Cartwright.
See, Bobby Weiss has made a move here. He has Keefe in the game for contact. Keefe played 13 minutes in that first half and only had 1 rebound. So, you know, he's exasperated. He's just pulling the strings, hoping that he can find somebody who will get underneath and bang.
Grant's jump hook doesn't go down. Willis had position. Jordan stole the rebound that time.
Oh, yes.
Knifing pass for Pippen.
Timeout, Hawks. Great pass, Michael Jordan.
outscored the Hawks 17-4 in the third quarter. Jordan 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Look at this.
Watch the ball fake right here. Yes, bring it back and then deliver. How about the way Pippen takes that up? Both hands strong. In case he was going to be contested, he would have been able to brute force it in.
If Michael Jordan only had big, strong hands, he could have been a great player. 79-52, Chicago. Down to Willis, fouled by Purdue. Bulls have Trent Tucker and Purdue in off the bench after that timeout. And for the first time in the game tonight, Travis Mays is in for the Atlanta Hawks. It's time for tonight's Chevrolet scoreboard. And the Knicks doing likewise to Indiana, as Chicago is doing to Atlanta here tonight. Ewing 13. He was shaken up in the first half, Patrick Ewing, but is okay. Willis gets the lay-in.
That's one of Willis's pet moves. He loves that baseline spin. Mays is in the game. Remember, an excellent perimeter shooter as well as a three-point shooter.
Tucker misses the three. Once again, the Hawks can't get that loose ball. That foul is going to be on Adam Keefe.
See, in the first half, Bobby Weiss used Brewer for 6 minutes, no rebounds. Keefe for 13 minutes in place of Willis, 1 rebound.
Adam Keefe gets the miss from Pippen. Had an open lane to the basket, but missed the lay-in. Here's Wilkins. He's struggling tonight.
All right.
Pippen by Adam Keefe, the rookie. 79-56, Bulls, 6:37 to go, third quarter.
Big thing is just stay within your offense. Try to get high percentage shots, but you must increase your defense.
Pippen against Mays now. He's fouled before the shot.
Well, he fouled him before he elevated. You know, a lot of players in this league will try to strip you. But that time, the push in the lower back, automatic foul.
Travis Mays, in his third year from the University of Texas, has had very limited. He's kind of the playing time. He's the odd man out, really, in the guard rotation for Atlanta.
Well, it's hard to play 3 second guards, Bob. And anytime they have Augman, they have Graham, and then they also have Mays. Now, right here now, Scottie Pippen has struggled this year on the foul line, only shooting 66%.
Purdue rebound. Once again, Hawks don't even get the defensive board off a missed free throw this time. Ball went straight to the hands of Purdue. Pippen kicks it to Armstrong, checks the three-point line. Willis with the board.
The Bulls are doing a terrific job in spotting up on the other side of the floor behind the three-point line.
Blaylock misses this one. Tucker with the rebound. Coming up after this game now, we have the Lakers at the Phoenix Suns. Ron Poole and Dick Versace will have that game for you as we continue our playoff coverage here on TNT. Purdue with the offensive board. He's fouled.
But the adjustment for game 2 is really quite easy. Okay?
Getting some defensive board.
That's you know, from a coaching standpoint, you do not even have to show them the entire film. You show the first quarter where the offense looked absolutely sensational, spacing, ball movement, and then before the fouls to Willis and Wilkins. Then you show them the second quarter, a part of it, and just show all this offensive rebounding, and that's the entire basketball game.
Will Purdue, in only 10 minutes of playing time tonight, has 7 rebounds, 6 offensive boards.
7-foot, long arms, and he keeps his arms up high. He's always bodying you with his chest and his legs to get you underneath the backboard.
Willis against Purdue. There's that spin move to the baseline. He's fouled. That's a body foul.
So he loves that baseline spin. Horace Grant is staring at the referee right now, thinking that as he came from behind the backboard, he jumped into my chest. Now, if this was a close game, I think Horace Grant would be over, you know, venting his feelings right now.
Grant with 4 personal fouls now as Scott Williams gets set to check in for Chicago. Willis rattles home the free throw attempt. Bulls lead it by 23 with 5:23 to go in the third quarter. These two teams play again on Sunday and then Tuesday in Atlanta. Willis misses. Williams rebounds. Brooklyn short arms it. Willis.
Nice. Couldn't get it. Purdue kept it alive. Then the nice pass. And once again, offensive board domination by Chicago. We say it so often that it's probably a broken record, but it is the story of this game.
Beautiful pass by Trent Tucker.
For Willis, spinning inside. There's that double team. Got there in time. Scott Williams came over to protect the baseline.
Bulls contest all shots as you're going to the rim. No doubt about it. That's why they're one of the premier defensive teams in this league for the last 5 years.
Nice pass inside to Williams.
Big jam from Scott Williams. Good interior passing from the Hawks. The Bulls big man, and it's 84-57. Dominique Wilkins gets the three. The New York Knicks are really handling Indiana tonight. Most people think the Knicks and the Bulls would be on a collision course for the Eastern title. We're going to show you some bonus coverage of the Knicks and the Pacers coming up in a couple of minutes. They're playing at Madison Square Garden. Williams, the Bulls can do no wrong.
All the front court people are all having a great game. Cartwright, Purdue, and then Scott Williams just putting it together. Playing, oh, there, yeah, that was an elbow back. Not Purdue, right down on the floor.
4 fouls on Willis. And let's go back to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Bob Neal. You're witnessing the running of the Bulls in Chicago. Let's update you on the Knicks. And there you see him playing the Pacers at the Garden. Let's turn it over to Al Trotwig and John Andres.
Madison Square Garden alive as the Knicks take a 16-point lead over the Indiana Pacers. It started as a 10-point lead in the first, up as high as 13 in the second, as high as 20 in the third, and now 14 points as the Knicks lead the Indiana Pacers as they have throughout. John Starks well off. Reggie Miller is there, met by LaSalle Thompson. George McLeod, quick look for Vern Fleming, and that's the kind of movement and vision on the floor that has been totally missing from Indiana's game tonight.
Well, they spread that offense out so well accidentally, and the ball moved beautifully for them.
Al Trautwig in for Marv Albert, along with John Andres and Bruce Beck from Madison Square Garden. Doc Rivers breaks free and right over Reggie Miller.
That's just a great move. I mean, he goes in with the right hand, his shooting hand, then realizes he's got to go left because of the defensive obstacle in front of him, and he does it perfectly.
On a night when Patrick Ewing has not been able to exploit Rick Smits with only 13 points, Charles Smith has delivered 21. Vern Fleming is fouled in the lane. Doc Rivers has 15. And Ewing 13 complete the scoring trio leadership for the Knicks. Anthony Mason returns as Charles Smith hears it from the Garden. 15 points apiece for Vern Fleming and Reggie Miller for Indiana, and 11 for Rick Smits, who, like Dale Davis, is playing with 4 personal fouls. Vern Fleming to the line. Vern Fleming is in his 9th season and has played more seasons, games, and minutes than any member of the Indiana Pacers. Knicks fans might note that Herb Williams is number 3 on that all-time list.
Vern Fleming also tops the Pacers NBA career charts in assists, steals, and he has been the quietest member of that franchise, considering his great contributions over the years, you know?
I think if you asked around the NBA, not in Indianapolis, identify the player of the Indiana Pacers, I don't think people would say, Vern Fleming, you're right. Knicks have had great shooting throughout. They had 9 of their first 10 in the opening quarter and have kept it going, not at that level, but well over 50%. Pacers running, as is their one. Fleming spins from Rivers. Rejected by Rivers. Oakley up the floor. Stolen back by McLeod. Miller for 3.
That's his version of a layup, Al.
He had 167 of those in this regular season, missing the NBA record for a season by only 5. He brings the Pacers within 11. Ewing, quick look, intercept by LaSalle Thompson. Fleming, stolen by Rivers. He finds Mason. All alone is Oakley.
You know, the game is getting sloppy from a basketball perfectionist viewpoint, but it's much more fun to watch now as the Pacers have come to life. There's more action out there. Perhaps it's George McLeod's presence. He and Fleming are moving the ball well for the Pacers.
We've just moved under 3 minutes, and the trademark chant of defense underway here at the Garden. Rick Smits starts battles with Fleming. He comes away with it. A lot of white shirts with him, and he goes all the way, pulling the ball up.
He faked everybody out on that. It looked like an automatic pass. He kind of hesitated, looking to the people to his left, indicating pass, but no, it wasn't. He kept it.
A couple of minutes to go in the third period. New York enjoying a 13-point lead over the Indiana Pacers, game 1 of their series. Now back to Chicago.
Thanks, Ernie. The reason the crowd is cheering so high here wasn't because the foul just got called, which is on Michael Jordan, his third, but it was because of an incredible baseline backboard rattling dunk. Take a look. First the fake. Oh. Actually, Jordan is so good he doesn't rattle the backboard.
No. While we're away, the complexion of this game has not changed a bit.
Absolutely. 90-64 Bulls. 1:09 to go third quarter. You see it is a laugher. Michael Jordan and the Bulls can do no wrong tonight. Their intensity level has been tremendous. Everything from defense to offensive boards, shooting percentage, transition defense, ball movement, you name it, they've done it. 25-point lead over the Atlanta Hawks with a minute to go in the third quarter. Timeout. Chicago. So Bob Weiss with a conversation with his Atlanta Hawks as Michael Jordan will get a brief respite. Well, the Bulls 90, Hawks 65. And the Bulls have dominated virtually every category. The primary thing we've been talking about the whole game, Hubie, the rebounding.
Well, you can see it right there. Second chance points, 33-8. Then you look down at turnovers and the Bulls with 3. So right away that tells you that the Hawks, from a defensive standpoint, have lacked intensity for the entire evening. Then down below, Michael Jordan just having a spectacular game and many Showtime moves for the fans. Dominique Wilkins working extremely hard, but unfortunately for him, Kevin Willis, limited minutes, 9 minutes in the first half, 3 fouls, comes out here in the third quarter, picks up his fourth through frustration as he nailed a defensive player, knocked him to the floor. What you're trying to do here, you put this young group out on the floor for you right now. You want them to continue to hustle, scrap, so that in game 2 you hope that they can give you some production off the bench.
Jordan against Wayne Terrell. Turnaround jump shot. Doesn't go down. Brewer with a rebound for Atlanta to Steve Henson.
What you're trying to do here is mix up your people. Hope that you can find 5 guys that can do something for you.
Henson with a bad pass. Paxson comes away with the ball to Michael Jordan. 39 seconds to go in the quarter. Henson playing Jordan. I bet he's dreamed about that his whole career. To Purdue for the jam.
Big part of Michael's game, the assists. He averaged 5.5 assists a game this year.
And think of that, 25 shots a game, too.
That's right.
Something. Henson off his foot, 5 on the shot clock. Throws up the prayer. 8 seconds to go in the quarter. Hawks really struggling now. Jordan leaning, grinning, smiling.
Guys talk about highlights that they do during the course of the season. He's had some spectacular moves tonight. At least 5 that would be on any highlight film.
There's the story for Michael Jordan. It's a beautiful
beautiful evening in Chicago, made even more beautiful for Bulls fans by the Bulls outscoring the Hawks 33-17 in the third quarter. Michael Jordan has been so entertaining.
This is a spectacular pass right there. No look, right to Will Perdue. Why? Because he caught the double team. Now, we end the quarter right here. Look at his head fake. Now, remember, he's straddling the three-point line. That looked one of those guys when they came out with the Winchester rifle or whatever that was back in the old days. I mean, he like lined that baby up, just knocked it down effortlessly. Boom.
Michael Jordan, the leading scorer in the NBA this year at 32.6 a game, has 32 in this one with 12 minutes to go. Keefe against Scott Williams. Williams with a foul. Adam Keefe has been meeting the floor with regularity tonight. He's going to have some bruises and some jacuzzi time.
Yeah, he's smarting right now. It was a knee-to-knee that time. See, right now, any time that the Hawks, especially with this unit out here, they go into the post area, Chicago's just playing them soft, man-to-man, no double teaming, so the outside people just do not open up. So you got to have a game when they go to you down inside.
Dwayne Farrell comes off the screen, gets the pass from Brewer, and hits the 19-footer. 95-67. Bulls 11:33 to go in this ballgame. Coming up after this, we continue our doubleheader coverage of the playoffs. It'll be the Lakers at the Phoenix Suns. John Paxson from the corner.
All night long, we've been bringing that point out to you. The diagonal pass to the opposite corner is wide open, and they have just been exploiting that.
Travis Mays missing from long range. Tucker. Jordan from 30 feet. He wasn't even near the three-point line.
Did he say he was nervous? Is that what he said?
I think that's what he said. I am nervous. You know, he just opened a new restaurant in Chicago, too. He's been busy with that this week. That's why he's been so distracted tonight, I'm sure. Brewer tries a jump shot. Jordan, of course, with the rebound. He's liable to pull up right here. It's something to watch this guy play. You know, we'll be talking about this 20 years from now. Those of us are still here. Perdue with the pass and doesn't get the roll. The foul before the pass. It'll be an offensive foul in Chicago.
You know, we brought out the point on our playoff show that the Bulls ended the season 3 big games on the road. At Cleveland, at Charlotte, at New York. 3 losses. Their offense was sputtering, shooting a low percentage, especially against New York. And we were wondering whether they could gear up, whether they had tired legs. This evening you're seeing great spacing, beautiful ball movement, and then the shooting has just been spectacular.
That, by the way, a minute ago was Chicago's first turnover since the first quarter. Jordan misses. Put that on the reel. Steve Henson. As the Hawks have gone to the bench here, trailing 100-69. That's 31 points. Mays cuts it to 29 with 9:50 to go in the game. You know, here's an Atlanta team that's been up and down all year. How devastating a loss will this be by this kind of margin in your view?
No, because Bobby's been around in the playoffs. This is only one loss. There have been many teams who have played in the playoffs. How about in the finals when LA went to Boston and lost by over 40 points, came back and won game 2 in Boston. Everyone was writing it off as a Boston sweep, if you remember, in the 80s. You just don't worry about that. You tell the guys, look, we played a horrible game. You show them where. Now you make your subtle changes in your offenses and your defenses. You know, you change things around a little bit. It's a fresh start, game 2. You're only trying to come in here and win one of the 2 anyway.
Well, we've talked about, as we look at our Dutch boy in the paint, the rebounding differential, but have a look at the center comparison. My, oh my.
It's very difficult, and when you think that the Bulls do not even go through their center position for the season, Bill Cartwright is averaging 4 shot attempts, Perdue 4 shot attempts, Scott Williams about 4 shot attempts, and you think about it, most of them are on the offensive boards, or when the offense break down and they become maybe the 4th or 5th option.
Michael Jordan taking a rest right now, as Michael has 35 points to go with his 7 rebounds and 5 assists, and a couple of those assists have been frankly beautiful.
That's a play that's called the guard around, but what they really are doing, they're setting a double screen on the right side of the lane, and that has been a pet play for them in the second half of the season.
Randy Brewer into the paint, gets it stripped away. Rodney McRae up ahead, stolen by Paul Graham.
Now this is second unit.
Adam Keefe missing the lay-in. Pippen.
Phil Jackson always allows either Michael Jordan or the Pippen to stay on the floor with these 4 players.
102-71, the Bulls, 8:39 remaining here in this ball game. As I said before, these two teams will play again on Sunday, then go back to Atlanta for Game 3 on Tuesday, which will be one of our TNT telecasts. Adam Keefe with the rebound and the putback. The rookie has 12 points.
Well, they have 2 offensive rebound scorers, and Adam has both of them.
King blows past Randy Brewer. Burrell can't handle it.
The defense has been so soft for the Hawks tonight. Once we got past that first quarter, sure, the Bulls shot a very high percentage, but in quarters 2, 3, and now in 4, if you just take them off the dribble, no double teaming, you don't even have to make the extra pass. Just take the ball strong to the basket.
It was 26-24 with Kevin Willis and Dominique Wilkins picked up their second personal foul each, and since that score, it's been all Chicago. 31-point advantage here with Paxson, Stacey King, Trent Tucker, Rodney McRae, and Pippen on the floor for the Bulls. Indiana, New York. Close one going there. The Knicks had a sizable lead in that game. The Pacers have cut into it. That's at Madison Square Garden.
Big is strong. Nice strong move. And I'll tell you, Adam Keefe definitely has cleaned that entire baseline with his uniform all night tonight. I mean, he has been really hustling. That was a strong move to the basket. He takes the shot. Now that's at least the 4th time that he bypassed the ball boy with the mop and just took everything right into the first row of seats.
12 points, 5 boards for Adam Keefe, make it 13. Adam Keefe missed most of training camp, as you look at Dominique Wilkins on the bench. Missed most of training camp and got off to a very slow start. He was the Hawks' #1 draft choice, and has been heavily criticized, frankly. People have said, you know, was he really a #1? Should you have taken him that high? Should you have taken Harold Miner? Should you? But Adam Keefe is showing that he can become a competent NBA player.
Well, he was an outstanding college player at Stanford and did a terrific job in that West Coast Conference. Now, his points were always there, his rebounding, but what's happened here is he kind of gets like out-muscled and outsized by the first-team power forwards that he must match up against. Nice pass.
Stripped away by Mays. Bulls continue to control.
Scotty said, how about my pass off my knee?
There's another offensive board, another one. Another. And the Bulls toying with Atlanta now. 6:40 to go in this game. 106-75. 108-75. Trent Tucker looking lively tonight. And the much maligned Bulls bench really come in here to play as well as the starters tonight. There's been no deficiency from the Chicago game. Burrell missed the finger roll. Brewer with the offensive board and the putback. We understand that Charles Oakley has been ejected from that New York game with 2 technical fouls. Ernie Johnson will give us details on that. As a matter of fact, let's go to Ernie right now. Ernie, what's the story on Oakley and the Knicks?
You asked for it, Bob, and I've got it for you. Things heating up at Madison Square Garden. Watch Charles Oakley swinging the elbow at George McLeod. Didn't make any contact, but that was his second technical foul of the game. Oakley ejected in the 4th period. Indiana has closed the gap in that game. It's game 1 of the Eastern Conference first-round series between the number 1 and number 8 seeds. 83-78, the Knicks with the lead over the Pacers. We'll be back to Chicago Stadium after this.
Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns, the team to beat in the West, take on the Lakers in game 1, round 1 of that Western Conference series. Ron Poole and Dick Versace will have you. Tomorrow, Gary Bender, Doug Collins will be in Cleveland for New Jersey and the Cavs, and Hubie and I will be flying to Houston. 108-77 here in Chicago. 6:03 to go. The Bulls have made a clear and definitive statement about lively legs, not tired, ability to play defense, offensive rebound, and in fact defend their crown here in this game tonight.
Now remember, they're doing this to a team that they were 2-2 with this season. We're down in game 4 by 17 points in Atlanta in the last quarter. Pippen wins the game with a 3, or they would be 1-3 at the end of the season versus the Atlanta Hawks.
3 to shoot. Another offensive board till Henson stole it. Ahead to Graham. Wayne Farrell. He's come in and thrown some points in there since he came off the bench late in the ball game. 6 in this quarter. Graham, Henson, and Travis Mays run. Pulls back quickly. 108-79 Chicago. Coming up next, Phoenix entertains the Los Angeles Lakers. Most people think it's Phoenix, Seattle, and Houston as the 3 top picks in the West. Do you tend to agree with that?
Well, I feel that that's, you know, they're the heavy favorites. 2 of those 3 should get to the Western Conference Final. But that's why we play the games. We have upsets because you cannot forecast injuries to key people. Now, that's what we mean right here. Now, here is an injury. Now, you hate to see this happen at any time. Now, right now, he's down. He's in a lot of pain. There was a collision. He got tangled up right as they crossed over half court, and he's down. This young man is a major, major player for the Chicago Bulls. He's had a sensational season as a backup center as well as big forward. He plays 19 minutes a game. He gets them 6 points, plus he gets them 6 rebounds a game. And he's one of those kind of guys. He was not drafted coming out of the University of North Carolina. He came here for a guaranteed sum of money, so they offered it to him to get him into their training camp. And he just pushed aside many players here who had bigger reputations, long-term contracts, and more money.
Let's take a look here at the Scott Williams injury, Hubie. Looks like he took 2 hits.
Right. Now keep an eye right there. That's the first one where now he will trip and fall. Now watch as Mays comes back. He steps right on the ankle right there. We're going to give you another angle so you can see it. Now remember, he's already going down. Now keep an eye on the step right on the ankle right there.
And Williams with 6.8 rebounds and 3 blocks out of the game. We'll give you a report as to what we have when we find out about his condition. Let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Bob. More bonus coverage now from Madison Square Garden. The Knicks with a 9-point lead, about 5 minutes to play. Let's turn it back over to Al Trautwig and John Andres.
Mason a foul. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter here at Madison Square Garden in New York. Al Trautwig in for Marv Albert along with John Andres, Bruce Beck, and Walt Frazier. Pacers has cut the one-time Knick 19-point lead to 5. But now the Knicks have put together a mini run. John Starks' 3-pointer just a moment ago, giving him 14 points on the game. And the Knicks once again a 9-point lead. Pacers have played tough in this second half. Rick Smits and Patrick Ewing both with 4 fouls as they guard each other. This will be a foul on Doc Rivers of the Knicks. That'll be his third.
Doc Rivers is agreeing more with the officials' calls these days, Al, if you notice. Most of the season, Doc had a problem agreeing with the official when a foul would be called, but now he's very cooperative.
I'm sure that's one of the things that came up in the Knicks pre-playoff camp in Charleston. Let's turn the other cheek. Unfortunately, that's something that Charles Oakley of the Knicks couldn't do tonight. Early technical in the first half, and then took a swipe to get George McLeod off his shoulders, resulting in an immediate second technical and an ejection just a few minutes ago.
Well, Charles's shirt was being grabbed in a rebounding situation, and the official didn't take note of it, and that's what he objected to, but he did it quite outwardly, and that's what drew the technical.
Knicks have to work a little bit to get the ball in bounds. Starks and Anthony Mason. Mason, who does have dreams of running the point of a team someday, enjoys the moment where he gets to bring it up the floor. Doc Rivers pulls up over Schrempf. That's 17 for Doc Rivers.
That's a highly developed move he has. Dribble, dribble, jump shot.
Once again, Knicks by 10. Mason guarding Schrempf. He and Charles Smith have done a great job on Schrempf. Smith right now guarding Dale Davis. Miller guarded by Starks. And that will be a foul on Anthony Mason. Now the question now is not who is in foul trouble. The question is who isn't in foul trouble. Third on Mason.
Mason trailing Detlef Schrempf, who cannot shake Mason's presence. Mason not as tall as the 6'10 Schrempf, but the body and the speed is right there, and the desire, the pride he takes in his defense is what really makes him special.
And as the Knicks continue to foul Reggie Miller, they continue to almost hand the Pacers 2 points. He's now 12 of 12 from the line. 25 total on the game. It is when he is shooting off screens and dribbles that the Knicks defenders have a fair shot at him, and he's only 6 of 17. Knocks them both down. It's an 8-point game again.
Mason again given the job of bringing the ball up court. Dale Davis is just hanging with him. He's not bothering Mason, which is why Mason's been given that job.
Starts for Ewing, posting up a little too far outside. But he'll take that jumper. Almost stolen by Miller. 3 on the 24-second clock. And Doc Rivers hits with 2 on the 24-second clock. 19 for Rivers, 21 for Ewing, 23 for Charles Smith.
Doc Rivers' intensity and concentration is so evident tonight.
Schrempf runs into a Nick Wall. Smits over the outstretched hand of Ewing. 15 for Smits, 17 for Fleming, 26 for Miller. The Pacers scoring story. No top seed has ever lost the opening round of the playoffs since the best-of-5 format has begun. Starks in and around and foul. And with 3:18 to go, John Starks will go to the free throw line with the Knicks up 8.
You know, it's interesting, Al, how throughout this very successful season with John Starks, the crowd really has taken to his actions on drives to the basket. They find him very exciting, and John has worked very hard at drawing that attention, and he's really turned the fans on when he drives that ball to the basket.
5th foul on Rick Smits. Doesn't he get you going, John? I mean, as a man who appreciates basketball, when he takes that step, you have a little bit more of a sense of anticipation. You never know exactly what he's going to do. He brings that to a game.
And he has the ability to execute shots all different ways and successful.
And you know, you look back to John Starks' original turn with the Knicks back 2 seasons ago, when if he doesn't have a knee injury, he doesn't get on the opening day roster. He gets cut. But because he had the injury, he stays on the roster, and when he comes back, the Knicks needed him at guard because someone else was hurt, and that's how he got his chance. Detlef Schrempf inside.
All right, Indiana refusing to fold, but New York maintains the lead. That's bonus coverage here on TNT. Now back to Bob and Hubie in Chicago.
Thanks, EJ. 114.88 Bulls here with under a minute remaining in this ball game, and it's been a cakewalk for the Bulls since it was 26-24, and Wilkins who picked up those 2 fouls we talked about. After that, all Chicago. Biggest lead in this game was 33 at 108-75.
I think what Bobby Weiss talks to his ball club, their game plan, the initial game plan, was excellent. Their ball movement, their spacing, all of the move, everything was terrific until they got into the foul trouble. Then they could not take care of their defensive boards. We all know that at playoff time, it's rebounding and defense or defense and rebound. Those two facets must come 1-2, then your offense. And hopefully for Atlanta's sake that they will be able to come out in game 2, establish manhood in that painted area. Hopefully that Willis will not be in foul trouble, Wilkins be on the floor to help them on the boards, and that the inside people will not be intimidated like they were this evening once they had one guy in foul trouble.
Let's update you about Scott Williams. When we went away for our Knicks Pacers bonus coverage, Scott Williams had gone off the floor with an ankle injury. They put tape on it. He is on the sideline right now with the ice on his ankle. We have no idea to the severity of the injury. All we know is that he was hit twice when he went down. So the Scott Williams situation is something that will diffuse a little bit of the joy the Bulls have of getting this 114-90 win over the Atlanta Hawks. Biggest lead in the game was 33. And the Bulls start their defense of their title with a 114-90 win over the Atlanta Hawks. Our Budweiser player of the game is Michael Jordan, who had 35 points to go with his 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And Michael Jordan told Hubie Brown before the ball game, Michael, congratulations on the win here to get things started on defending and going for the three-peat. And Hubie said when we first started this ball game, Michael's joined us at our table side now, said that you told him before the ball game, yeah, it's playoffs, I feel a little nervous.
I was. Everyone gets nervous going into the playoffs. If you don't, then you certainly are not competitive. And I felt the team was a little nervous, which is a good sign because you're really anxious to get going. And I just ready to get out and play basketball. I've been waiting for a long period of time for this.
Michael, everybody's been talking about the team with 57 wins. There's been more gloom and doom talked about a team that won the division championship, 57 wins, 2 world championships, heading into these playoffs. How is this team? Did you, in fact, rest a bit to get your team ready? Did your team rest a bit to get ready for the playoffs?
I think this team has been very anxious to get back to the playoffs ever since we finished last year. We had a problem. We had to go through the 82-game season, and we went through that. Maybe a little lackluster, or mentally draining, but I think we are pretty much motivated with being the underdog. It's not a bad position to be in. I think this team is willing to accept that and take some of the pressure off trying to do it for the 3rd time.
Michael, were you surprised tonight by the ease of the dominance on your offensive boards?
Yeah, we were very surprised, and I think the adjustments by Atlanta is going to be shown and probably seen the next game. We kind of took them by surprise with the active defense and the offensive rebounding that we did. But this team has got a lot of character, and they're going to bounce back on Sunday.
How about Scotty Williams? How severe of an injury?
Scotty, I think Scotty's going to be all right. You know he's very, very energetic. I didn't see the play, but knowing Scotty, he's from North Carolina, so I know he's going to come back.
That Carolina blue underwear routine.
You got it. He's going to be ready.
Speaking of that, hold your arm up here just a second. This brace on your wrist, I don't want to over-dramatize this or anything, but you do have a sore wrist. It looked like you worked it out pretty well here tonight. Was this kind of an exercise for your wrist?
Well, I got a little tendonitis in my wrist, and as many times as I can shoot, the more pain is going to hurt tomorrow.
So after this ball game tonight, when Hubie and I head out to Michael Jordan's new restaurant, we just say we were just with Michael and he sent us over?
Oh, certainly. Everything's on the house, as long as we win.
I'd like to invite everybody in our TNT audience to coming over on LaSalle Street, and we'll be there. Michael Jordan, once again, our Budweiser player of the game, 35 points tonight, and the Bulls start their defense of the title. You must be feeling pretty good about your club.
I am. You can't get to the ultimate goal of a championship until you win the first one, and this is the first one. We got 14 more to go.
You play again on Sunday. We'll see you on Tuesday down in Atlanta. Michael Jordan, our player of the game, and 35 points from Michael in this game tonight here at Chicago Stadium in the 114-90 win over the Hawks. Stay tuned. We got another game coming your way.